a 7-game unbeaten streak. Lionel Messi, 5 goals in the MLS. And the team our Inter Miami Herons are playing tonight, Lionel Messi has scored in each of his first 4 matches against them. Welcome on in, folks. This is your Inter Miami Radio Network. I am your voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Mike Rizzo. And tonight we got a special one. The New York Red Bulls here in South Florida at New Stadium. Game number 2 at New Stadium. The last time we checked in with you, our Herons drew Austin FC, the Verde and Black, here in this stadium. It was a fantastic, fun, entertaining game. The issue, Inter Miami battered Austin for the final 10 minutes of the game, but could not score that decisive goal that would have put them up 3-2. But Inter Miami drawing Austin the last time we talked to you. We're hoping that changes tonight as Inter Miami and Coach Javier Mascherano have changed things up. Our Herons have gone with a 4-2-3-1 the last 3 fixtures. Not tonight. Inter Miami going with a 4-4-1-1. A 4-4-1-1. Herman Bertoame getting his first start in 3 games at the striker position, and Lionel Messi gently slotted behind him, playing what I think a false 9 role coming up tonight. But a 4-4-1-1 for Inter Miami. I mentioned the New York Red Bulls, the opponent for our Herons tonight. The Red Bulls picked up a confident 4-2 win over FC Cincinnati in their last outing. Cincinnati picked up a red card, and the Red Bull were able to make them pay. However, new head coach Michael Bradley said before the match that he hopes he sees the team that plays good football tonight. Let's not, dismiss the 6-1 loss that they suffered against Charlotte 2 games prior to the game tonight. So a young New York Red Bull squad on the road in a hostile environment at New Stadium. Let's take a timeout. When we return, we'll go through the starting lineups, and we'll let you know exactly what is going on tactically. But once again, if you're just joining us, this is your Inter Miami Radio Network. Inter Miami going with a 4-4-1-1. A 4-4-1-1. Let me give you those Inter Miami lineups real quick. You got Sergio Reguilon playing left back. Mikael playing left center back. Maxi Falcone, right center back, and Ian Frey slotted in at right back. Your 4 midfielders tonight from left to right. Talasco Segovia, Yannick Bright, and Rodrigo De Paul. And on that far right side, the always dangerous, one of my favorite Inter Miami Herons, Matteo Silvetti. I mentioned the 2, I'm going to call them strikers, folks. The 2 strikers up top, Lionel Messi and Herman Bertoame. Messi, according to the tactical sheet, technically playing a cam, a central attacking midfielder. I'm going to call him a false 9 striker tonight, though. I think that's how things are just going to shake out. But Herman Bertoame, as I mentioned, getting his first start in 3 games. His first start since Inter Miami lost to Nashville in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Now, we could sit here and discuss if they actually lost the match. It's the ridiculous away goals that nobody can stand, but we still do in that competition. But regardless, Bertoame in a big spot tonight for our Herons. As far as the New York Red Bull, 4-3-3. 4-3-3 for the Red Bull, and a lot of familiar faces for the Red Bull tonight. You got Marshall Ruddy playing right back. Nealis starting at right center back. Veloder starting at left center back. And Veloder probably going to be the one anchoring the defense and calling the shots. And then the young Dos Santos coming up at left back. Now you have Don Cora, Mehmeti, Forsberg in the midfield. And then Kowo, Julian Hall, and Ruvalcaba up top. Julian Hall, 5 league goals. Let's take a timeout, folks. We got the national anthem coming up. When we return, we'll have Kickoff on your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Picture this. A curve in the road. A change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzolo.com and schedule your free consultation today.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Jeff Bowden, Executive Principal and leader of Anshin's Tax Department.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act creates powerful new planning opportunities for high net worth individuals and business owners. The new tax legislation permanently increases the estate and gift tax exemption to $15 million per person, restores full expensing for domestic R&D costs, updates the Opportunity Zone and qualified small business stock provisions, and includes other changes that will impact businesses and individuals. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help clients understand the intricacies of the bill and develop a plan tailored to meet their goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
The pink smoke is in the air. Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Now let's get to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Pre-game wrapped up, and folks, your pre-game is brought to you, or rather was brought to you by your local South Florida Audi dealer. We all know the feeling, a change of plan, an unexpected curve, a new opportunity. Folks, say yes. Say yes to the S-Life with the all-new Audi Q3. Yes to adventure, yes to escape, yes to right now, because saying yes without hesitation, that's what we call real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the S-Life. Learn more at AudiUSA.com. Folks, Audi is the official premium and electric car partner of IMCF. We're almost ready to get underway. Herman Bertoame standing over the ball. Almost ready to kick this one off here at New Stadium. Game number 2. Our Inter Miami Herons come into this game. They're 4th on the table. They have 11 points. And as far as the Red Bull, they're 1 point behind with 10 in 7th place. And folks, we are underway here at New Stadium. And already Inter Miami on the attack on the left side, near side touchline with Matteo Silvetti into Red Bull territory. Here is Talasco Segovia. He'll retreat back into the Inter Miami half, and he'll recycle to the defense with Mikael. Michael Bradley, the head coach for the New York Red Bulls, on the other side. We remember him and his heroics with the United States men's national team. His father, Bo Bradley, was actually the gaffer for our lads all those years back. So a football family for the Bradleys, and now Michael in charge of the Red Bull as of early last year. The Red Bull missed the playoffs for the first time in 15 years, folks. 2009 was the last time the Red Bulls missed the playoffs. And listen, early on, New York is pressing. And this is a relentless press that you're going to see all game from the Red Bulls as they win the ball in their own half. Forsberg was the intended target on the pass, but our Inter Miami Herons recover on the far side touchline. Messi getting his first touch of the game, roar of the crowd. But in 2026, the New York Red Bulls and Michael Bradley came out and said they were going to utilize a high-pressing, intense style under new head coach Michael Bradley. So we're going to see a lot of running and a lot of legs from this young group with the Red Bulls. And we're seeing it now. Inter Miami in their own box struggling to get it out, and that one goes out of bounds. Near side touchline, Yannick Bright was looking for Reguilon. Going to be a throw-in for the Red Bulls. So it's going to be a very intensive defensive style for the Red Bulls. And our Herons, as we know, they like to have the ball. So we're going to have to see how this plays out as Emil Forsberg almost got played on that far side. It was a good pass from Mehmeti, but he was unable to get to it, and our Herons now got it in the box. Clearing it away is Mikael. Yannick Bright on the ball now. Turnover. Red Bulls now have it in Inter Miami territory. Now Rodrigo DePaul with an interception. Here's Messi. Messi, long through ball, looking for Silvetti. Mateo's outside, a chance in the box, he's knocked down! Oh my goodness! The referee says play on! Rosendo Mendoza, the head referee, says play on. Silvetti went to ground. You hear the fans, that could have been a penalty in the second minute. And welcome to the second minute on your Inter Miami Radio Network. 0-0, the Herons and the Red Bull. Speaking of the Red Bull, they have it in Inter Miami territory. With it now is their defender, Nealis. They're playing the defense high. All defenders for the Red Bull are over the midfield touchline. So this is an uber, I've been explaining the high press by Red Bull, but their attack too past midfield. Yannick Bright trying to track the ball as Red Bull now have it near side touchline. That's Marshall Ruddy. With it is Doncourt, and he gets past the defender with space. Doncourt plays on Cowell. Cowell in the box, lays it up, and Inter Miami able to clear it out. It's going to be the first, it's going to be a goal kick. It'll be a goal kick for our Inter Miami Herons. Sorry, folks, we couldn't tell what head referee Rosendo Mendoza was going to call. It was a late call, but ultimately a goal kick. Welcome to the fourth minute. 4 minutes have gone by. Still 0-0. But this Red Bull, we know what this game is going to look like with the Red Bulls. They are going to be pressing, and they are going to be forcing the issue on this Inter Miami defense. We're going to have a throw in on the far side touchline. Ian Frey will be the one throwing it in. He plays it back to Falcone. And now Dane St. Clair. Should mention St. Clair in net. I think it goes without saying at this point that he is the nailed-on goalkeeper for our Herons as Inter Miami busts the defense. Matteo Silvetti, ball on to Bertoame. Can he get there? And he doesn't. And it's a foul. First foul of the game. Head referee Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. Going to be a free kick for the Red Bull. Red Bull immediately resume play. This is Dos Santos on the far side touchline. He kicks it out of bounds. Him and Forsberg not on this same pace. Inter Miami immediately plays it. Here's Falcone, plays it back to St. Clair. This looks like the game plan for Inter Miami as they're going to play out of their defense and create chances and hopefully get their midfielders open who could play on attackers like Bertoame, Silvetti, and Messi. And to be fair, you got to be clean. You got to be clean with your passes in the defense against the press. One mistake and there's going to be an opportunity. St. Clair with a nice pass to Regulon, near side touchline. Sergio playing on Silvetti. Silvetti has it right at midfield. Pass deflected. He gets back on it. He's got acres space on the near side touchline. He centralizes it to Yannick Bright, and Bright immediately dispossessed, but our Herons are on it. Messi now. Midfield circle. Plays it back to Bright. Here's Rodrigo DePaul. Far side touchline. He'll play on Ian Frey. Frey back to DePaul. DePaul crossed into the box. Looking for Silvetti. That one headed away. Now won by our Herons, and looks like that is going to be a corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Folks, Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath have been serving the injured people and their families here in South Florida for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. And all Inter Miami corners brought to you by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Messi taking the corner, right side corner, going to be a left foot in swinger. He actually takes it short to DePaul. Immediately played back to Leo. Leo with a nifty move. Now he has space in the box. Messi passage, shot, and just wide. What a ball by Lionel Messi. And that shot just off the target as Messi had a nifty move, blew by a defender, and it looked like a couple of Inter Miami Herons couldn't get their foot on it. It looked like Bertoame and Segovia, and it was Bertoame. 7 minutes. Welcome to the 7th minute in the first half. Inter Miami and New York Red Bulls. 0-0 the score. Inter Miami looking threatening with Lionel Messi. Messi plays it to Silvetti. Silvetti cuts inside of the box. He's got room. He plays on Regulon pass, and his shot deflected, and that one rolls out. Believe this is going to be a corner kick. We're still waiting to hear. And yes, it is a corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. For over 40 years, they've been representing injured people and their families. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath, the official sponsor of all Inter Miami corners. Lionel Messi will take it again. This is a left side corner. It was a good chance. Regulon kept it in. Crashing into the goal was Messi, but he was unable to finish. Earns the corner. Messi crosses it in. Header! And that one way out of bounds, right into the 305. So now we have a quick goal kick. Red Bull, as we know, under Michael Bradley, they want to play quick, and they didn't take a second. Here is Doncourt, midfield. Now to Marshall Ruddy. Ruddy gets it past midfield to Cole. And that one rolls out of bounds. Doncourt going to throw it in. Now we have a stoppage of play. Apparently the Red Bulls took that too quick. Throwing it in for the Red Bulls. Actually, it's Marshall Ruddy. Played to their defense to Voldor. Here's Dos Santos. And then he loses it, intercepted by our Herons. 9 minutes, 0-0. 9 minutes played in the first half, 0-0 your score. Inter Miami and the Red Bull. Bad pass by Mikael. Him and Silvetti not on the same page. The Red Bull win it. They'll keep it in their own half with Volodor and Nealis. Volodor now trying to play a ball on. Is he going to get there? That ball won by Regulon, near side touchline. And that rolls out of bounds. Going to be a corner kick presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. For 40 years, they've been representing injured people and their families. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath, proud sponsors of Corner Kicks on your Inter Miami radio network. But Dos Santos had a nice ball. He was looking for Rabucaba. Rabucaba and Regulon were fighting tooth and nail on the near side touchline. And now taking the corner is Mehmeti. Eddie raises his hand. He crosses it in, looking for Forsberg, back stick, and that one goes out of bounds. Going to be a goal kick for Dane St. Clair and our Herons. 10 minutes have gone by. 0-0, Inter Miami and New York Red Bulls. Opportunities for our Herons here early on. Lionel Messi with a beautiful shot creation. He played it in to about 2 Inter Miami players and Herman Bertoame, a mixture of Bertoame and Segovia. Unable to take advantage of that. Inter Miami has 2 corners on the night already compared to the Red Bulls 1. Scrap for the ball, won by Inter Miami, and here's Lionel Messi right at midfield. Messi cuts in. He plays on Regulon. Regulon now has it, and he was looking for Silvetti. Near side touchline. That's out of bounds, and the Red Bulls are going to go quick. Can New York spur the trap? And they can't, because Velasco Segovia able to win the ball. Fighting for it was Cole. Cole, the right wing, in the 4-3-3 for Michael Bradley. The 3 attackers, Cole, Julian Hall, and Rabu Kaba. And St. Clair tries to get Silvetti deep into New York territory. Good job there by Dos Santos shutting that down. New York back on it. Now they're recycling to their defense. This is Nealis. Nealis inching towards the near side touchline. Gives a pass to Cole. And won by Inter Miami. Near side touchline is Silvetti. Recycle to the defense. Bad pass. But Yannick Bright fighting for it. Yannick wins it. What an effort. It's now Inter Miami sprung the trap. Here's Silvetti. He cuts in. And just intercepted. It was a good ball to Messi, but just intercepted by the Red Bull. Put the announcer's curse on the Red Bull because they immediately turn it over. So an ugly spell of play for the last 2.5 minutes here as Yannick Bright turns it over and New York back on it again. Doncourt now, right at midfield. Doncourt, big through ball. Is he going to be on sides? This is Rabu Kaba, and he is. Far side touchline, inching towards the box is Rabu Kaba. He plays Forsberg. Forsberg now, back to Rabu Kaba. Dangerous for New York. Now they're going to pitter-patter around the box. This is Mehmeti. And now they play back to their defense. Looked a little threatening there on that far side touchline near the box. But the Red Bull going to continue to try to work a chance, and that one goes out of bounds. That was Mehmeti and Cole trying to link up. Cole on the near side touchline. That one goes out of bounds, and it is going to be an Inter Miami throw-in. So Inter Miami, in the 13th minute, they're still deadlocked with the Red Bulls as Dane St. Clair now has it after the throw-in. St. Clair gets it far side touchline. This is Ian Frey. Frey with a burst of speed plays Messi. Now here's DePaul, back to Messi. Leo, nifty move. Gets by his defender, looking for Frey, and Frey doesn't get there, but it was deflected by a Red Bull player. A quick throw-in right to Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul on that far side touchline. He cuts in. And then he'll lay it up back to defense and reset with Mikael. Mikael, near side touchline. Regulon. Now Silvetti on the near side. Silvetti trying to cut in, taking on 2 defenders. And ball won by New York. That was Cole. Cole with a good pass. This is Julian Hall, who's got 5 league goals already. Hall with nice hold-up play. Cross by, shot, goal! New York Red Bulls opening up the scoring in the first half. That's Rabu Kaba. What a pass by Julian Hall. And our Herons find themselves down 1-0 in the 14th minute. A great pass by Cole. Put on Julian Hall. Nobody home on the back stick as Rabu Kaba crossed in, and he was one-on-one with Dane St. Clair, and he scores. So for the second time, our Herons find themselves down at New Stadium in the first half. Happened really quick. Sergio Regulon looking for answers. But nobody home on that, nobody marking Ravalcaba. He was as open as you're going to find him. A couple of players and Inter Miami defenders came in. You had two guys on Julian Hall, and that left a wide open look. As I've said now about 3 times, Jorge Ravalcaba, the young Mexican left winger, making our Herons pay. And for the second time in 2 weeks, Inter Miami down 1-0 at New Stadium. Ball is played, and Inter Miami retreating back to the defense. St. Clair gets it to Reguilon near side touchline. Reguilon looking for Bertoame up top. Ball intercepted by New York, but Bertoame still on it. Herman almost was one-on-one with Horvath, the goalkeeper for the Red Bull, but he's able to clear it. Good news is the Herons back on it. Here's Rodrigo de Paul to Telasco Segovia. Segovia immediately turns it over. Red Bulls on it with Forsberg. Forsberg, far side touchline. Nifty move. Pass to Mamet. Back to Forsberg. 3-man 3-ball with Mamet, Forsberg, and Dos Santos. Now the ball to Doncourt in the midfield. Ravalcaba, big switch to Cowell. Is he going to get there? And a nifty header by Sergio Reguilon, who plays it to Dane St. Clair. St. Clair immediately releases Reguilon. Near side touchline, here's Silvetti. Silvetti turned it over. Now the Red Bull have it again. Here is Mametti with space to Julian Hall. He goes to ground. And our head referee, Rosendo Mendoza, says play on. 17th minute, the New York Red Bull lead the match 1-0. Mike Rizzo on the call for Inter Miami and the New York Red Bulls as Bertoame getting released by Messi. Good pass. Here's Bertoame near New York's box. He cuts in, lays it up to Leo. Leo, right outside of New York's box, gets it to Silvetti. Silvetti with space. He plays on Reguilon. Reguilon still fighting for it. And I believe this will be an Inter Miami corner presented by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. And it is a corner kick. All Inter Miami corners are brought to you by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, representing injured people and their families for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. All right, taking the corner kick is going to be Sergio Reguilon this time. Lionel Messi on the opposite side of the box. Right outside of the box as Reguilon plays it on. Scruff for it in the box. And ultimately, Messi ends up with it right outside the box. Leo cuts in with space. Plays DePaul. DePaul right outside the penalty arc. Retreating back to that far side touchline to Ian Frey. Frey back to DePaul. DePaul ball in, deflected. And that one rolls out of bounds. Rodrigo going to throw it on that far side touchline. 18 minutes have gone by. Our Herons down 1-0 the Red Bull. And a tackle by New York. Look out! They're on the run. Ravalcaba. And what a tackle by Yannick Bright. He had Forsberg on that far side touchline. What an effort by Bright. Now Inter Miami's on the break. Silvetti, near side touchline, crosses it into the box. Here's Segovia's shot deflected. What an opportunity for the Herons. It was a great release by Silvetti. He found Segovia in the box. And a heroic effort by Nealis and Voldor, the two center backs. But another corner brought to you by Lytle Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. For 40 years, they've been representing injured people and their families. Visit foryourrights.com. Telasco Segovia is going to take the corner. Right foot in swinger from the left side. Segovia puts it in, and that one caught. Good effort there by Ethan Horvath, the veteran goalkeeper for New York. And in the 20th minute, they spur the trap. That was an Inter Miami corner. 1-0, Red Bulls on top. Ravalcaba, the goal scorer in the 15th, assisted by Julian Hall. Julian Hall now continues his impressive season for the Red Bull. Hall with 5 league goals heading into this game, and now he adds another assist. It's our Herons trying to battle back plenty of time for Inter Miami. As I mentioned, 20 minutes, and Red Bull have it. Far side touchline. Rolls out of bounds. Going to be an Inter Miami throw-in. Ian Frey gets into DePaul, and now he'll recycle to St. Clair. St. Clair, near side touchline to Reguilon. Reguilon tries going past Cowell. He immediately turns it over. Cowell now in a dangerous position. And I'll tell you what, folks, Yannick Bright came to play tonight. Second big-time tackle for Bright. Inter Miami on the break. Here's Rodrigo DePaul. He plays on Silvetti. Silvetti cuts in on the near side touchline to Segovia. Now to Messi. Messi right outside of the box. Leo, pass in. Ian Frey ends up with it near side touchline. Inter Miami will reset. Here's DePaul. Ball roll back to Bright. Inter Miami right outside of the box for the Red Bull. It's now all their defenders forward. This is Mikael and Maxi Falcone getting it recycled to them. Falcone will play it far side touchline. Inter Miami inching closer back to that box. And as I say it, they retreat to the center backs. 21 and a half minutes. Red Bull on top 1-0. Inter Miami back in action, near side touchline. Here's Reguilon. He plays it to Silvetti. And a nifty deflection by the Red Bull. Going to be a throw-in near side touchline for Segovia. Mikael now. He gets it right at midfield. He plays it to the opposite side to Falcone. Falcone directing traffic. Right at the midfield circle now is Mikael. Near side touchline pass to Reguilon. And then Reguilon and Silvetti not on the same page. That's another Inter Miami turnover. This is Cowell with space. Cowell on that near side touchline, fighting tooth and nail. Yannick Bright wins it again. It's the third tackle won by Yannick Bright. DePaul finds Messi, far side touchline. And he releases Ian Frey. Frey's got acres of space. Need to put a pass together here. Frey, right outside of the box. He finds the ball. Shot blocked. What a stop by Horvath. And Rodrigo DePaul denied a goal. Great pass by Messi. Great pass by Frey. And DePaul unable to finish. That was right at Horvath. And Rodrigo went to ground. Seems like he's okay. But now on the ground for New York is their center back, Nealis. But this was a nifty ball by Lionel Messi to Ian Frey on that far side touchline. I mentioned Frey needed to put a pass together, and he did, man. Nifty Trevela ball to DePaul. DePaul went for that near post, and it was met by Ethan Horvath. You know, hindsight 2020, probably a low-driven cross keep. That would have been into the back of the net, 1-1. But DePaul decided to go near post, and Horvath able to catch up with it. 24 minutes have gone by in the first half. The Red Bull on top 1-0 over our Herons. Rabucaba, the goal scorer for New York in the 15th minute. Doncourt with acres of space, and thankfully he turns it over because he had about 3 Red Bull players open. Here's DePaul. DePaul finds Messi. Messi right outside the penalty arc. Here's Leo. Plays on Silvetti. Silvetti cross-hit shot just to the left. Segovia couldn't finish. And that'll be a goal kick for New York. So Inter Miami, they're doing a good job putting chances together. They just can't get that goal. They can't get that shot on target. Give credit to DePaul. He put it on target. It was on that near post, and Horvath was ready for it. Red Bull trying to put together an attack at midfield. Marshall Ruddy. And now they'll recycle the Horvath, the goalkeeper. I've been impressed with the young Red Bull side who's been able to keep up the pressing pace. They have not let Inter Miami, left Inter Miami alone for a second, and as now Herman Bertoame picks up a foul, free kick for New York. They play it quickly. New York immediately resumes play, and What a effort by Ian Frey on the defensive side. That was Forsberg looking for the goal scorer, Rabu Kaba, on an inside run. And that one rolls out of bounds in the 25th minute. It looks like our Herons, we're still waiting on who's going to. Nope, it's going to be the Red Bull. No, it'll be an Inter Miami free kick. So I apologize. Rosendo Mendoza called it an Inter Miami free kick. And that's what the confusion was about. What a bad turnover. Here's Colwell with an opportunity. Mikael picks his pocket. Thank goodness. That was an oopsie, an a boo-boo, whatever you want to call it, off of the free kick. I mean, no, lights on, nobody home. Lights on, nobody was home on that pass. Thankfully, Mikael able to pick the pocket of Colwell. Jeez. But Inter Miami back on it. As they're recycling to their defense. Near side touchline, this is Reguilon. He gets it to Silvetti. Silvetti, a hot commodity there. And on the pass was Rodrigo de Paul. My on-site producer and lead spotter, Oscar Gonzalez, spotting him as the man on that far side free kick who almost, I mean, that could have led to 2-0, folks. I'm telling you, Mikael with a nifty pick of the pocket in the box on Cole. And now Inter Miami still has it in their defensive end with Falcone. They'll recycle to St. Clair. 27th minute, 1-0 Red Bull on top. St. Clair looking long to Silvetti on the near side touchline, won by Red Bull. Here's Doncourt. Doncourt with a nice turn, acres of space, finds Forsberg. Back to Doncourt. Doncourt looking dangerous. And now Red Bull will recycle to their defense. Doncourt had a couple of guys in the box. He decided not to play him through. Not a moment of peace for Inter Miami as they're attacking again with Mehmeti. Mehmeti to Forsberg, and Ian Frey able to clear it for the moment. Right back on it is Red Bull. Here's Forsberg. Forsberg inching closer to the Inter Miami box. He's looking for Rabu Kaba. And Inter Miami will watch that roll out of bounds. Falcone, I think, tipped it off of a Red Bull player. We're still waiting if it's a corner. Nope. It went off of Mikael, and that's a corner kick presented by Lido Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. For 40 years, they've been serving injured people and their families here in beautiful South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. That's Lido Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Folks, they have your back. All right, 28th minute, corner kick coming up. Here's Forsberg. He'll take it short. Pass in, back stick. And Inter Miami able to clear it out. It's a good job there by Rabu Kaba. But Inter Miami able to sniff it out. Here's Doncourt. Back to Mehmeti. Mehmeti very active in that midfield. He is the artist of this attack. Rabu Kaba now inching towards Inter Miami's box. As I say that, he retreats. Back to the defense we go. Here's Marshall Ruddy. Now Colwell, near side touchline, cutting in. Chased by Reguilon, and ball won by Reguilon and Segovia. Inter Miami back on it in the 29th minute. 29th minute, first half, Red Bull up 1-0. Rabu Kaba, the goal scorer. Julian Hall with the assist for Red Bull. Our Herons trying to battle back. We're going to have a throw-in on the far side touchline. Now Dane St. Clair has it. St. Clair playing out of his box. Finds Frey, far side touchline. Got to put a pass together here. Frey shut down, and he'll retreat. On the goal by Red Bulls, Rabu Kaba released on that left side. And Julian Hall did a good job of getting two Inter Miami defenders to bite. And it was a simple layup pass. Rabu Kaba one-on-one. He made our Herons pay. We have a foul. Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. Going to be a free kick for our Herons on the far side touchline. Messi has it. Now to Bright. 3-man 3-ball with Segovia, Bright, and Messi. And ball intercepted by New York. Ending up with it is Ethan Horvath. the goalkeeper from New York. They'll play out of their box. Inter Miami now, showing the Red Bull a taste of their own medicine with their own form of a press. Here's Silvetti trying to rip it from Marshall Ruddy. Cowell pass forward. He falls, and that one rolls out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in. Reguilon takes it quickly. Near side touchline is Bertoame. Now Segovia. Back to Bertoame. Yannick Bright right at midfield. Bright dribbles it in to Red Bull territory. Far side touchline to a wide open Ian Frey. Frey cuts in and finds Bright. 30th minute. Welcome to the 30th minute. As Yannick Bright was looking for Silvetti, and that one sails out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Red Bulls. On the throw-in is Marshall Ruddy, the right back, on that near side touchline. Inter Miami attacking to the left, New York attacking to the right. As Mehmeti with a nifty pass, but that ball's won by our Herons in midfield by DePaul. As Doncourt puts in a good tackle on DePaul. But Inter Miami trying to track back on it. They do on the near side touchline with Reguilon. Here's Bright. 50-50 ball between DePaul and Mehmeti. DePaul wins it, but goes to ground, and there's the foul. Not a card, but Rosendo Mendoza blows the whistle. That's going to be a foul on Mehmeti. Mehmeti checks up on Rodrigo. And DePaul's going to be okay. He'll take the free kick. Be 5 yards right outside of that midfield stripe as Messi plays on Silvetti, and that one smartly read by the Red Bull defense. Marshall Ruddy has a near side touchline. Ruddy looking for Julian Hall, and Mikael heads it out of bounds. Good job there sniffing out by the Inter Miami defense. That could have been some trouble. But another throw in for Marshall Ruddy. 1-0, 32nd minute. Inter Miami down. It's the second straight week. Inter Miami's down 1-0 at New Stadium. Beautiful atmosphere, sold out crowd. Going to be a special season for our Herons in this stadium. Far side touchline. Working on that is the goal scorer, Rabel Caba. He's retreating to the defense. Ian Frey not giving him a moment of peace. Frey wins it, but now Mendoza blows his whistle on a foul against Ian Frey. Free kick coming up for the Red Bull. Taking it is Forsberg. Now with it, Doncourt. Going to that near side touchline. Nifty pass to Cowell. Back to Doncourt. Doncourt, a little ball roll, and he'll retreat back to the defense. And here's Horvath out of his box, the goalkeeper. Horvath looking for Doncourt. That one headed away by Inter Miami. Still in trouble. Reguilon retreats to Dane St. Clair as Julian Hall's putting on the press. St. Clair with a nifty ball to the far side touchline, Ian Frey. Frey with space. He'll look for Herman Bertoame. And coming off his lines is Horvath. And wow, I mean, Horvath cleared his lines by 25 yards. Bertoame would have been able to win that, but bad news. Inter Miami in trouble. Here's Rabel Caba. Rabel Caba's shot blocked, and another shot again. And that one rolls out of bounds. Thankfully, going to be a goal kick for our Herons. How did that work out for the Red Bull? Folks, when I say Horvath came off his lines, he was damn near at the midfield circle. It's an understatement saying he came off his lines. It was a boneheaded move. But sadly, he won it. And it somehow, some way turned into a Rabel Caba one-on-one with St. Clair. But thankfully, our Inter Miami Herons able to retreat and snuff it out. And in the 34th minute, Inter Miami, our Herons almost conceded again. Ian Frey goes to ground, and that's a foul. Referee Rosendo Mendoza blowing his whistle. Inter Miami plays it quick. Here's Mikael. Near side touchline. This is Reguilon to Segovia. Inching closer to midfield circle in Inter Miami territory is Bright. Now to Falcone. Falcone centralizes it again to Bright. Bright to Messi. Midfield circle. About to cross the midfield line is Falcone. Far side touchline. Now to Messi. Messi, nifty move. Ball on a string. He plays on Frank, and he had Frank finish it, and what a sliding tackle! What an effort by Bouladeur! Unbelievable! He saved the goal. Inter Miami takes a corner short. We'll get to Letter Rider Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath in a second. Mikael to Silvetti. Silvetti cuts in, finds Messi. Messi in the box. Ball won by New York. Now DePaul has it right outside the box. DePaul looking for Bertoame. Cleared by New York. But back on it are our Herons. Here's Segovia playing it back to the defense and Mikael. 36 minutes have gone by. Crazy first half so far here at New Stadium. Opportunity after opportunity on both sides. As St. Clair was looking for Regulon, and Regulon couldn't get his head to it, and it goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for New York. That was a good opportunity for Inter Miami. They couldn't get that final pass in the box. New York parked the bus for that possession. They thwarted our Herons. And now near side touchline, Marshall Ruddy. He cuts in and finds Forsberg. Here's Doncourt. Doncourt intercepted by Segovia. That rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a New York throw. A lot of familiar faces from last year on this New York team, but a lot of young players too, including Julian Hall. I mentioned Hall has 5 league goals, and he has that assist tonight to Rabucaba. Here's Cowell. Right out of the throw-in. New York has it right at midfield. Nealis will retreat to Voldor. Far side touchline, Dos Santos. Dos Santos intercepted. Ball rolls out of bounds. Good deflection by DePaul. But a throw-in for Red Bull. Inter Miami, our Herons need an injection of life at the moment. Opportunity after opportunity. Similar to that final 10 minutes against Austin. You just can't get that goal. There's still plenty of time. 37 minutes have been played. About 15 seconds from the 38th minute here in the first half. 1-0 Red Bull on top. An opportunity for Red Bull. They're outside Inter Miami's box with Doncourt. Doncourt pass into Hall and another interception by Bright. Yannick Bright, in my opinion, MVP of the first half for the Herons, as Doncourt not letting a moment of ease for the Herons as St. Clair able to clear it out of their box. Inter Miami on the run. Here's Messi. He finds Segovia. Segovia to Bright. Bright, midfield circle in Red Bull territory. He plays it near side touchline to Regulon. Regulon crosses it in. Nobody home back stick, but DePaul ends up with it. DePaul cuts into the box. Rodrigo still with it. He crosses it in, and that one deflected by New York. Rolls out of bounds for a corner. Presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. For 40 years, they've been representing injured people and their families. Visit foryourrights.com. Regulon going to take it quick off the corner. Here's DePaul. Near side touchline. Crosses it in, and a header! Caught by Horvath. Bertoame got his head on it. Was looking for his first goal of the year, but he striked it right at Horvath. Inter Miami back on it. Here's Regulon with space. Finds Silvetti. Mateo into the box. Cross in. And another corner kick. Presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. For 40 years, they've been representing injured people and their families in South Florida. Visit foryourrights.com. Foryourrights.com. Quick corner by DePaul. Here's Segovia. Back to Messi. Now to DePaul. DePaul right outside of the box. Cross in. Deflected by New York. Can Inter Miami get back on it? Here's Segovia. He finds Leo. Leo shot. Low driven. Almost. Just right of the goal is Lionel Messi, but it was deflected, and we have a corner presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For 40 years, Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath have been representing injured people and their families. What a chance by Messi. Corner taken by DePaul. Cross it, shot at Horvath. Second time the header was right at Horvath. 40 minutes. 40 minutes have gone by. Red Bull on top, 1-0. Rabu-Kaba, the goal scorer. The Herons putting the pressure on as we're about 5 minutes away from extra time. Red Bull now getting harassed. Can our Herons get on it? And a whiff by Telasco Segovia. Big opportunity. Here are the Red Bull. Cowell right outside of the box. Stops play. Ball one. Yannick Bright again. He is everywhere. Bright is everywhere for Inter Miami, folks. His fifth tackle won on the defensive side. DePaul now with space. Inching closer to midfield. DePaul was looking for somebody, but nobody there. I think he was looking for Ian Frey to release on that far side touchline. Never happened. Now New York has it with Forsberg right at midfield. Here's Mehmeti. Mehmeti and Forsberg. 2-man 2-ball. Retreating to the defense is Red Bull. Inching closer to the near side touchline. Now here's Marshall Ruddy. Ruddy. Back to Nealis and the defense, and Horvath will recover. Inter Miami putting the pressure on New York. Opportunities have been there. Creativity is there. Just got to get one by Horvath. Segovia, midfield, Bertoame. He releases Regulon. Regulon with space. Into the box. Cross in! Herman Bertoame goes to the ground. Mendoza, I believe, says play on, head referee. And apparently there was nothing there. That's the second time an Inter Miami player has gone down in the box. If you remember, Matteo Silvetti in the first 10 minutes went down in the box, and Rosado Mendoza said play on. But in the 42nd minute, we will have a goal kick. VAR checked it, and it is clean. So still 1-0. 42nd minute. Rabu-Kaba, the goal scorer. Near side touchline. Cowell, defended by Regulon. And now we have a foul. Mendoza blowing his whistle. He didn't like what he saw from Regulon on Cowell. Cowell has been very active on this near side touchline, playing right wing for Red Bull tonight. Once again, 4-3-3 for Michael Bradley's side. And to be honest, Cowell, Julian Hall, and Rabu-Kaba all very active this half. Julian Hall has the assist to Rabu-Kaba, and as I mentioned, Cowell has been all over the place. All right, free kick taken. Red Bull were looking for Julian Hall right at the penalty arc, but St. Clair wins it. Inter Miami has it back. Here's Regulon, near side touchline, acres of space. He decides to go back to Mikael. 43rd minute. St. Clair playing it out to Falcone, press back on for the Rebel. Need to put a pass together here as Falcone turns it over, but Segovia ends up with it on a 50-50 ball. Now him and Frey not on the same page as he ends back up with it. Very sloppy sequence of play, folks, as now the Red Bull have it in their own half. Far side touchline. Miami sniffs that out, and they have it on that far side touchline. This is DePaul. DePaul cutting in. Good run by Rodrigo. Can he get a pass on? And he gets intercepted. It's Doncourt. Doncourt gets a burst of speed. He's coming to the near side touchline. Can Segovia get there? Here comes Silvetti. Doncourt still with it. Still running with it. And now he finds Marshall Ruddy. 44 and a half minutes or 30 seconds away from extra time. Near side touchline. Doncourt. He plays it to Cowell. Sliding tackle by Regulon. Goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for the Red Bull. Throwing it in is Marshall Ruddy. This right side, folks, this near side touchline, this right side, very active this half with the mixture of Cowell, Marshall Ruddy, and then Doncourt. Here's Ruddy again, cutting in, pushed by Silvetti. He gets it to Doncourt. Cycling to the defense. is the Red Bull. Now, extra time, folks, we're waiting on the allotted extra time. Only 1 minute of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Folks, AudiUSA.com, AudiUSA.com. Audi, the official electric vehicle and premium vehicle and partner of IMCF. That is your good friends at Audi. Lionel Messi had an opportunity, and that one's stuffed out, but he's back on it. Here's Leo. Can we get some magic before half? Bertoame back to Messi, back heel. And if Messi goes to ground, Mendoza says play on. Segovia wins it. Not over. Bertoame now to Bright. Here's Regulon. Now Segovia back to Bright. 53 seconds, probably the last opportunity our Herons are going to have. Only 1 minute of extra time. Cross it on my shot. Goal! Goal! What a strike! Matteo Silvetti on the back stick. A beautiful pass. What an opportunity for Inter Miami right before the half. Matteo Silvetti ties it up in the 46th minute. 1-1 at New Stadium. Wow. I mentioned not done yet. And it was a beautiful ball by Rodrigo de Paul. Man. De Paul with a 30-yard pass to the back stick to Silvetti. And the young Argentinian ties it up at the death in the first half. I'm assuming this kick of the ball is going to be the halftime whistle. And head referee Mendoza signals halftime. What a strike by Matteo Silvetti on that back stick. Blow that horn, Fernando. 1-1. We're just getting the party started on your Inter Miami Radio Network. Your halftime report coming up next.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzillow.com and schedule your free consultation today.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Jeff Bowden, Executive Principal and leader of Anshin's Tax Department.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act creates powerful new planning opportunities for high net worth individuals and business owners. The new tax legislation permanently increases the estate and gift tax exemption to $15 million per person, restores full expensing for domestic R&D costs, updates the Opportunity Zone and qualified small business stock provisions, and includes other changes that will impact businesses and individuals. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help clients understand the intricacies of the bill and develop a plan tailored to meet their goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
College basketball is heating up and the tournament is almost here. Don't let your home get caught off guard. Get ready now with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can get 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the court, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit edsyes.com today. Stay cool and be ready before the madness hits.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
1-1 your halftime score here at New Stadium. Matteo Silvetti able to find the back of the net at the death right before halftime. It was a beautiful ball by Rodrigo DePaul. It was great service by DePaul on that far side touchline. Inter Miami was attacking the left goal in the first half. DePaul had it on that far side touchline right outside of the box. Pass him about 30 yards to the back stick. Matteo Silvetti with a nice one-timer, and Inter Miami ties it up. Appreciate everyone listening on the YouTube stream tonight. That is at ESPN West Palm FC. Janet, Killiman, and Nathan very active in the chat. We appreciate everybody watching and listening all over the Inter Miami Radio Network. If it's on that ESPN South Florida app, if it's on our YouTube stream at ESPN West Palm FC, and all of our listeners on Sirius XM. But Inter Miami 1-1 with the New York Red Bulls at halftime for the second straight game in a row. Inter Miami found themselves down 1-0. And folks, the second straight game, we played 2 games at New Stadium, the last 2 games. So at the New Stadium, our Herons have found themselves down 1-0. It was the same thing against Austin last game, and it was the same scoreline at halftime. And we'll see if Inter Miami is able to change that trajectory. Are they going to be able to get that victory against the Red Bulls tonight? Now, Janet said she's sick of the word deflected in the YouTube stream, and Janet, I'm sick of saying it. Is Inter Miami, folks, the stat XG, meaning expected goals. I love it. It's one of my favorite statistics to look at in world football. Inter Miami has a 1.21, meaning they should have 1.21 goals scored. The Red Bull only have a 0.22. The Red Bull have 1 shot on target, and it was the Rabocaba back of the net. 3 shots total. The other 2 were nowhere near the net. So let's get something out of the way quickly. Inter Miami was battering New York in that first half. That's why I kept saying they just need to put together an opportunity and get it by Horvath. And to be fair, a couple of the shots by our Herons were right at Ethan Horvath, the goalkeeper for the Rebel. You had the opportunity by Rodrigo DePaul. He decided to go near post on that beautiful pass from Ian Frey. And I do give him credit on that save, but most of our Heron shots were at the goalkeeper. More kind of into the statistics at halftime. Once again, Inter Miami with a 1.21 XG, 9 total shots for the Herons, 4 on target, 3 big chances. 2 big chances were missed, and obviously the big chance with DePaul and Silvetti and that link up at the back stick were the chance they took advantage of. There were 8 total fouls in the first half, 4 on both sides, and Inter Miami and the Red Bull able to go unscathed in cards. 8 corner kicks, folks, 8 corner kicks. You hear me brought up our great partners, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Farmrad, 8 times for the Herons in that first half. It was 2 times, 2 corners for the Red Bull. Folks, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the second half. Once again, in my opinion, Inter Miami dominating the game. Just need to keep piecing together opportunities, keep putting the pressure on that Red Bull defense. This is your Inter Miami Radio Network. Second half coming up next.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzolo.com and schedule your free consultation today.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Jeff Bowden, Executive Principal and leader of Anshin's Tax Department.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act creates powerful new planning opportunities for high net worth individuals and business owners. The new tax legislation permanently increases the estate and gift tax exemption to $15 million per person, restores full expensing for domestic R&D costs, updates the Opportunity Zone and qualified small business stock provisions, and includes other changes that will impact businesses and individuals. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help clients understand the intricacies of the bill and develop a plan tailored to meet their goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the pitch. Here's Mike Rizzo.
About a minute away from getting action back underway here at New Stadium. Our Inter Miami Herons actually already on the field and ready to go. We'll still have about a minute 30 on that halftime clock. But welcome back to your Inter Miami Radio Network. I am your voice of the Inter Miami Herons, Mike Rizzo. We are currently deadlocked, hornslocked, whatever you want to call it, with the New York Red Bull. Let's call it hornslocked because, Red Bull, technically Bulls, right? But Rabu Kamba, the goal scorer for Red Bull, I think it was a lapse of judgment by our Herons in that first half, in the 15th minute, where Julian Hall did a good job of getting two Inter Miami defenders to bite, and nobody was home on that back stick. And Hall really just had the ball on the near side of the penalty circle. And he was able to put a wide open pass into Rabu Kaba, who was one-on-one. And that was folks, that was one of three shots on target for Red Bull all half. They had three shots all half, all three on target, but they only had a .22 XG. So Inter Miami absolutely battering the stat sheet. But, folks, this game is about what happens on the pitch. And we're about to get back underway. Standing over it is Mehmeti for the Red Bull. Once again, the goal scorers in the first half, 1-1 tie right now. Silvetti for our Herons right at the death, and then Rabu Kaba in the 15th minute. Around the MLS a little bit we go as my OG on-site producer and spotter, Oscar Gonzalez, earlier in the day. We were watching a little bit of that LAFC game. LAFC was resting a bunch of players against Portland as they prepare for their CONCACAF Champions Cup matchup with Cruz Azul. They lose to Portland 2-1. But, folks, we are underway in the second half, and Inter Miami immediately wins the ball right off the bat with Herman Bertoame. Bertoame pass in, deflected, and another corner kick, the 9th corner kick of the night, presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath. For 40 years, they've been representing injured people and their families. Visit foryourrights.com. It's foryourrights.com. Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath. Played short to DePaul. DePaul cross in, header, and just right of the net. I believe that was the recently subbed on Daniel Pinter. We're waiting for a replay, but I believe the young Daniel Pinter came flying in. But another opportunity for the Herons. Pinter did sub on. I'll get to you in a second, folks, who came off of the pitch. But Daniel Pinter on, we saw him warming up throughout that first half. Horvath now tells Red Bull to get up the field, and he now does it. And Daniel Pinter substitutes Sergio Regulon. Appreciate my on-site producer and spotter, the OG, Oscar Gonzalez. Now the Red Bull with an opportunity, but that's snuffed out by Falcone. Maxi retreating to our box is now finally the whistle. He's getting harassed by Rabu Kaba. Rosendo Mendoza giving our Herons a free kick. And DePaul plays the free kick back to St. Clair. Mikael, far side touchline. Here's Silvetti. Silvetti battling, and he won. He's got space now. He plays on Segovia. Segovia, big switch. Near side touchline. Lionel Messi with acres of space. Messi plays on Pinter. Pinter to DePaul. Right back to Messi. Outside the penalty arc. Leo to Silvetti. Silvetti taking on Ruddy one-on-one. He crosses it back to Leo. Now to Silvetti, and now that's where it breaks down. Doncourt has it. He's looking for Julian Hall. Hall releases on that far side touchline. He has it in a dangerous position. He cuts in. He'll lay it up to Doncourt. Here's Doncourt, back to Hall. And now they're going to reset. Looked dangerous originally. Julian Hall had an opportunity on that far side touchline, but a good job there by Yannick Bright and Mikael sniffing it out. The Red Bull continue with their attack. Here's Ravalcaba, near side touchline. Turns on Frey, and he'll play Forsberg. Inter Miami keeping their pace defensively. DePaul running after Forsberg. Forsberg retreats to the defense, and a big turnover. Here's DePaul with space. Rodrigo, right outside the yard, plays on Leo. Leo cut in, shot, and he just missed it. Lionel Messi went near post. He even reset to his left foot, and he just missed the near post. Oh, my goodness. Rodrigo DePaul with a beautiful ball. Oh, boy, the great one's going to want that back. He just missed that near post. Folks, he originally got it on his right foot at the right goalpost of Horvath. He stopped play, switched it to his left, put a shot on, went to ground, but just right of the post. And now we resume play with New York. Doncourt in trouble. Inter Miami closing him down. Now on the far side touchline, all of a sudden with space is Marshall Ruddy. Here's Cowell. Cowell cuts in. Defended by Mikael. Sliding tackle by Mikael. Going to be a corner kick presented by Lytle Rider Smith Ivy and Frauenrath. For 40 years, Lytle Rider Smith Ivy and Frauenrath have been serving South Florida and their families. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. Welcome to the 50th minute. 50 minutes gone by in the match. Inter Miami tied 1-1. It's already been an entertaining second half, as Inter Miami has had opportunities, and this is Red Bull's first real opportunity in the second half off of this corner kick. Whistle blown, and taking the corner is Dos Santos, as now actually he'll reset the ball. And we're still waiting on referee Mendoza, as he had a problem with the wall forming on the back post. But again, Dos Santos taking the corner. Going to be a left foot in swinger from the right side. And that one caught by Dane St. Clair. Looked like it could be some trouble, but St. Clair left his line and caught it. And he'll roll it on over to Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul and the Herons playing it out of the box. DePaul has it back near side touchline in the 50th minute. 1-1, New York Red Bulls tied with our Herons. The goal scorers, Matteo Silvetti for Inter Miami and Ravalcaba for the Rebel. Daniel Pinter, the recently subbed on Pinter. Pinter came on for Sergio Reguilon. So Inter Miami going with a more attacking formation. Daniel Pinter, definitely an attacker. And taking off Sergio Reguilon, a defender. And granted, Reguilon gets forward. But Coach Mascherano wants goals in the second half. The Red Bull win it and have the ball at midfield. Here is Ravalcaba, near side touchline, inching closer to the Inter Miami box. He'll lay it back up to Dos Santos. And now here is Volador. Once again, the center backs tonight for the Red Bull, Nealis and Volador. Now they play it back to their goalkeeper, Horvath. Horvath barks his orders, surveys, and now a big right boot down the field. It ends up on Forsberg's foot. Here's Doncourt, intercepted by our Herons and Falcone. Yannick Bright has it. We'll play back to the defense. And now to Dane St. Clair. Inter Miami probing out of their box. It's St. Clair's turn for a big boot. Can this bear fruit? Here's Silvetti in the box. Shot off target. That one's sent to the 25th row. An ambitious shot by our young Argentinian, the goal scorer in the game for our Herons, by the way. But it was a good left foot boot by St. Clair out of the box. Bounces streaking Silvetti. But Inter Miami has it, and they're back in business with DePaul, who's on the run. DePaul played up Bertoame. And, folks, I thought that could have turned into Herman's first goal as a Heron. It was a good job there by Nealis boxing out Bertoame. And Inter Miami get back on it. They do with Segovia. In a dangerous spot is Segovia. Now he'll lay it up to Bright. Yannick has it again, finds Leo. Messi, left foot pass. They were looking for a handball, and I believe they get one. This is going to be a free kick for Inter Miami. Now, I say this might be a little too far, and it is because Inter Miami immediately takes it quick. I didn't think it would turn into an opportunity for Messi off of a free kick. Way too far, but you never know. You never know with Lionel Messi. 53rd minute. Welcome to the 53rd minute. 1-1 your score. Inter Miami and the New York Red Bulls deadlocked. Inter Miami been the more threatening team, the more, I'd say, efficient team as far as shots on target. Just not been able to get it past Horvath outside of the Silvetti goal. DePaul, big switch. Speaking of them, here's Silvetti in the box. Shot! Just high. He finessed it. So Silvetti came in from that far side touchline, came into the box. He had a right foot finesse, looking for the right side upper 90, and he just put it over the bar. And in the 54th minute, we have a goal kick for Horvath. 1-1 still your score. Silvetti and Ravalcaba, the scorers in the game. Inter Miami back on it again, as they are. Can this one bear fruit? Here's Messi. Left foot. Shot. Goal! The first goal for Herman Bertoame has finally arrived. He's been waiting for it, pleading for it, and finally finds the back of the net. What an opportunity and what a strike by Bertoame. Good for him. God, did he need to see that go in the back of the net. And for some context, folks, Bertoame was the $15 million signing our Inter Miami Herons had in the offseason. They got him here to score goals, and Herman finally gets in the back of the nets. 2-1, Inter Miami on top. It was beautifully done by Messi. It was a laid-up pass to Bertoame in the box, and Herman with a big right boot, low-driven. Horvath never stood a chance. Oh, did he need that? It's now play resumed, and St. Clair ends up with it. But, man, guys, I really do think that is a big-time goal. That could just be all Herman Bertoame needed to unlock the keys to that Ferrari, the Rolls Royce, whatever luxury vehicle you're into, because he is that good. And he was brought in here to win trophies and score goals. And I think that's one of many for Herman Bertoame. Near side touchline, Inter Miami has it. DePaul with space. Messi in business. Plays on Bertoame in a sliding tackle, but Messi back on it. Leo to Silvetti, and that one deflected. Almost a big opportunity for the Herons. Inter Miami battering New York in the 56th minute. 2-1, our Herons leading. And a bad pass to the near side touchline ends the momentum. Blow the horn, Fernando. The Red Bull resume play. Horvath in trouble. Bertoame almost got in front of that. It was a clearing kick by the goalkeeper, Horvath. Bertoame almost chested it down. But 57 minutes gone by. Inter Miami 2-1 leading. Can this be the first victory at New Stadium? And now we have a foul. It's going to go against Ian Frey. Head referee Rosendo Mendoza blows his whistle, and we'll have a free kick. I don't mean to put the announcer's curse on it, but no cards have been dished out in this one yet. pretty clean game outside of a few fouls and stoppages in play. We only have 1 minute of extra time as now Inter Miami wins. A good job there by Daniel Pinter. Inter Miami on the attack with DePaul. DePaul, the messy and snuffed out by Nealis. DePaul goes to ground as tried winning that back from Dos Santos, but it doesn't matter because Yannick Bright is there for the 6th time tonight. That is the 6th tackle won by Yannick Bright tonight. And I am counting. St. Clair, near side touchline to DePaul, and that one went out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Red Bull. But I mentioned that's Herman Bertoame's first goal as an Inter Miami Heron. I think a lot of pressure just came off that man's back. Ball cleared now. 50-50 ball in the air. Inter Miami ends up with that at midfield. Now near side touchline to Paul. He plays it to Pinter. Can Pinter find Messi? He does. Messi looking for Bertoame. Just a tad too much mustard on that dog. And Horvath ends up with it. Here's Forsberg. Inter Miami slapping a press on Silvetti all over Ruddy. Cowell has it now. He cuts inside and a foul. And I think this could be a card. I think Mendoza reached in his pocket, and it is a booking in the 58th minute. That's going to go against Cowell. So the first citation, the first yeller we've seen tonight, and it goes to the right wing of the New York Red Bulls, Cade Cowell. And I believe Mendoza is checking. The man down there, Oscar, was Silvetti, and it is. He's shaking it off on that far side touchline. But 59 and a half minutes have gone by. Inter Miami up 2-1. The goal scorers, Matteo Silvetti, right before half in 45 and the allotted extra time, and Herman Bertoame in the 55th minute. Inter Miami resumes play. Here's Dane St. Clair. Far side touchline. He'll play Bright, or excuse me, that's Segovia, and out of bounds. He was looking for Silvetti. Quick throw in by Red Bull. Doncourt with space. He plays Forsberg, but good job by Rodrigo DePaul sniffing that out. The box-to-box midfielder goes to the ground. And I believe we do have a foul. Free kick for Inter Miami coming up. And now DePaul played it quick. Mendoza, head referee, did not like that. Now Mikael plays it to Falcon. 60 minutes have been played, 2-1. Inter Miami on top of the New York Red Bull. Can they get their first victory at New Stadium? Far side touchline. Segovia. He gets it to Silvetti. Acres of spaces to Paul. Near side touchline opening up with Messi. Messi inching closer to the box. Leo tried laying it up for Bertoame. And smartly won by New York. This is Dos Santos, who does a big switch of his fields. Doncourt open. Yannick Bright tracking back. Can't win it. Doncourt, look out. Here comes Cowell. Shot! Shot back in and a goal! Is he offsides? We don't know. We're still waiting. Is that a goal or not? And it is a goal. I'm sure VAR is going to take a look at this. So, folks, how it happened, Bright was tracking back to Doncourt. He couldn't win the ball. He played on Cowell. Cowell, good ball in. And that could be Rabo Caba's second goal of the night. And excuse me, it was not Rabo Caba. I mean, no one celebrated. And it's celebrated. But man, in a weird, folks, I apologize. This is one of the weirder sequences you'll ever see. People stop playing, and now I believe we're going to the monitor. We are going to the VA monitor here. And the reason I couldn't find you the goal scorer is because it was Folador. Volador scored the goal, but now head referee Mendoza is going to the monitor to check for a possible offsides. And I think he was clearly offsides here. The man who was offsides was Cowell, who played it into Julian Hall and the ball ended up back stick to Volador. So what the hell is Volador doing that far up as a defender? Give him credit, but I think this should be disallowed.
Number 7, Red Bull is in an offside position.
Does not count. Does not count. Everybody stop playing, folks. The defenders, Mikael and Falcone, they stopped playing. Clearly offsides. Right call. And I so many questions. What is Volador doing that far up for the Red Bull? Like I said, give him credit. Fair play to him. Fair play to him for finding a foot on that, but always offsides, right call. And once again, I'm at your mercy, folks. Everybody stop playing. All right, 63 and a half minutes. Inter Miami still with a 2-1 lead. Silvetti and Bertoame, the goal scorers for Inter Miami. Rabo Cava, the goal scorer for the Red Bull in the first half. There is one yellow card in the game, and it is on Cowell, the right winger for the Red Bull. No cards for our Herons. Play resumed. Far side touchline. Here is the Red Bull and Cowell. Now Doncourt. They retreat back to their own territory. And Horvath, the goalkeeper. Horvath playing it out of his box. They still have it in their own. They're trying to probe out of the box again with Horvath. Now, Volador. Near side touchline, Dos Santos. Forsberg. 3-man 3-ball. Forsberg, Volador, and Dos Santos. Now the ball won by our Herons. Bad turnover for New York. Messi right at the penalty arc. Plays on DePaul. DePaul cross in. And a sliding tackle by Mehmeti. Good job getting back, but we have a corner kick presented by Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Visit foryourrights.com. For 40 years, they've been serving injured people in South Florida. That's Leto Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. Once again, 2-1, Inter Miami on top of Red Bull. And we do have substitutions coming on for the Red Bull. We'll keep you updated here on As Who It Is on your Inter Miami radio network. Number 79 is Rafael Mascara. And then number 77, Mascara replaces Cowell, and Mohamed Sofo will replace Rabo Cava. So two new attackers for Red Bull as head coach Michael Bradley trying to get another goal. Cross in from DePaul, deflected away, but I think Yannick Bright's going to end up with it, and he does. Far side touchline. Silvetti, inching closer to the box. He's being shut down quickly. Lays it up to Bright. Bright somehow, someway has it in the box. Lays it up to Messi. Leo, shot! Oh, just missed. He went back stick. He was actually looking for a pass to Bertoame or DePaul. But wow, Leo ended up with it. Nobody home back stick. Unbelievable. There were 3 Herons in the vicinity. Messi chants have erupted at New Stadium. Play resumed, and St. Clair leaving his lines. Boots away a dangerous ball. Ball won by Doncourt and Red Bull. Here's Mascara, recently subbed on. He crosses it into Forsberg. Nobody home, and that one's going to roll out of bounds. But once again, Mohamed Sofo and Rafael Mascara subbing in for Cowell and Rabo Cava. So 2 brand new attackers for the Red Bull in the 67th minute. Inter Miami still rolling with what they rolled out of halftime with. Daniel Pinter, the lone substitute who's come on. All of a sudden, the Red Bull got it in Inter Miami box. Dangerous position, but a good tackle there. And now we have a whistle. Rodrigo DePaul made a good tackle on Mohamed Sofo, who ended up with the ball on the back stick. Then head referee Mendoza called the foul on Sofo. All right, we have an Inter Miami substitute coming on, Gonzalo Luan. Gonzalo Luan is going to come on for Matteo Silvetti. So Silvetti ran his race on that far side touchline. He was a goal scorer in the game, and he played fantastic. But Coach Mascherano substituting another defender. Keep in mind, Sergio Reguilon got yanked at half for Daniel Pinter. Pinter, an attacker. So you're only rolling with 3 defenders right now. Coach Mascherano evening it up, going with 4 defenders. Actually like the move. And your 3 attackers up top are going to be Bertoame, Messi, and Daniel Pinter. And you can't forget about Telasco Segovia as well, who has a very good match rating right now. Play resumed. St. Clair was looking for Pinter on the near side touchline, and that one rolls out of bounds. It's going to be a quick throw-in by the Red Bull. Volador boots it away, and Inter Miami ends up with it. This is Mikael right at the midfield circle. Far side touchline to Segovia. Him and Mikael, 2-man-2 ball, and now they recycle back to the defense. And Luan goes back to St. Clair. Near side touchline, Frey. Frey cuts in. Bad turnover. Here comes Doncourt. Doncourt guarded tightly by Bright. And now Mehmeti on it. Mehmeti, slick move. Right outside the penalty arc. He plays on Sofo. Sofo deflected, and Inter Miami clears. Sofo in a dangerous position in the box, and our Herons able to clear. 69 and a half minutes. 69 and a half minutes have been played. Inter Miami up 2-1. Ball cleared away by Ian Frey, and I think Ian Frey, is he injured? He's grasping something. And now referee Mendoza, Rosendo Mendoza, going to check on him. I don't think Coach Mascherano has a substitute yet. You got 5 guys for Inter Miami warming up on the back end. But I think Frey's going to gut it out at the moment. 70 minutes have officially been played. Once again, Inter Miami on top of Red Bull 2-1. Silvetti and Bertoame, the goal scorers. Bravo Caba, the goal scorer for Rebel. And now resume play. Rebel throw it out, give it back to Inter Miami because of the injury stoppage. And now St. Clair will, I think, boot it away. Him or Luan. Luan plays it to St. Clair, and now Dane boots it to the far side touchline as Mikael plays on Segovia. Now Bright to Segovia. Telasco centralizes it to Bertoame. Bright and Segovia can't decide who wants it, and now they turn it over. Falcone steps up. Good tackle. Maxi. Midfield strike. Now near side touchline. Messi. Messi and Pinter on this side. You got DePaul in the middle, who has it now. DePaul looking for the streak, and Pinter deflected and out of bounds in the 71st minute. Will be an Inter Miami throw. Ian Frey will take it. Frey to Luan, and Inter Miami recycles to the defense. Here's Segovia. Now near side touchline, Daniel Pinter. DePaul centralizing it. He gets it to Bright right at the midfield circle in Red Bull territory. Near side touchline now is Frey. Inter Miami holding possession. Falcone. And now they'll retreat to the goalkeeper, Dane St. Clair, in Inter Miami's box. 72nd minute, Inter Miami up 2-1. Can they see this through? Can they get their first win at New Stadium? Luan plays it deep, intercepted by New York. Mehmeti has it. Near side touchline, Dos Santos. Dos Santos looking for Forsberg. Intercepted by Gonzalo Luan. And now Messi can he get to it? It was a good pass from DePaul. Just over Messi's head, and it rolls to Horvath. Horvath immediately plays it. It's go time for the Red Bull at this point. They're down a goal in the 72nd minute. Inter Miami, though, dominating, battering Horvath, opportunity after opportunity, dominating possession. Far side touchline. And that one, did it roll out of bounds? It did. Going to be a throw-in. Inter Miami winning that possession battle 58-42. Doncourt goes to ground, and now we have a foul. Never a card. Doncourt sold it. New York resumes. Mehmeti, Forsberg, space. Who's going to stop the ball? Forsberg. Plays on Sofo. Sofo cross in! Almost home! Back stick! Oh my goodness, he just missed it! Mascara just missed it! And now Inter Miami will clear. Wow! Very fortunate that Mascara was not able to get on the end of it. It was a good move by Sofo. Holy cow! Hang on, folks! Buckle in for the last 15 minutes as our Herons try to see this through. Messi, ball out of string! And finally tackled by Nealis. Doncourt has it. Falcone's out of position. And now he slide tackles and wins it. Good job by Maxey, getting back and winning it. Ball in the air, 50-50 ball right outside Inter Miami's box. Down to the ground goes to Paul. Excuse me, that's Ian Frey. And we have a foul. Going to be a free kick for Inter Miami, according to head referee Rosendo Mendoza. But man, once again, Mohamed Sofo had a good in-the-box pass to the back stick. Crashing into that box was Mascara. And he was unable to get a toe on it, thankfully, for our Herons. DePaul looking for Pinter, nobody home. Near side touchline now, Red Bull have it. Centralizing Mehmeti. Mehmeti cuts in. Now he plays it to the near side touchline. 2-man 2-ball with Dos Santos and Sofo. Dos Santos, you're going to get there and a foul. This is clearly a card. Ian Frey, a booking in the 75th minute. We need to listen. Coach Mascherano knows a lot more ball than I do, but we got to get Frey off the pitch. He was injured. He's got a card. We need a substitute as soon as possible for Ian Frey at this point. And I believe Facundo Mora is going to come on for our Herons. He's been warming up on the side. I've been monitoring the situation. But with Frey banged up and now with a citation and a booking in the 75th, he's got to come off the pitch. And once again, I believe that is Mora, who's about to enter the game. Coach Mascherano barking his orders at the young Argentinian. And I think actually Red Bull are actually going to have to, I don't think he can come on right now. We're still waiting. Welcome to the 76th minute on your Inter Miami Radio Network. I am Mike Rizzo, the voice of the Herons. Inter Miami up 2-1. We have a free kick opportunity for the Red Bull. Red Bull lining up right at that penalty arc. Trying to get a head on it or chest it. As speaking of, it's chested down right in the box. Dangerous position for Red Bull. Julian Hall shot! And that's a goal for Red Bull! Unbelievable! Right off the go! I mentioned it was a dangerous spot with Julian Hall in the box. He made a beautiful pass in the box. And another goal for the Red Bull. That is Mehmeti. So it's a quick free kick by Forsberg. He got it to Hall. Hall had a nifty turn and threw a ball into the box. And that was Mehmeti, man. Wow. 2-2 again. Tied up in the 77th minute. But Julian Hall, man, I mean, listen, folks, hell of a turn. He was guarded by DePaul, a world-class midfielder, and he made a turn and a left foot pass into that box. And Mehmeti made him pay. It's now, by the way, St. Clair never had a chance. I don't put that on the goalkeeper. But what an opportunity our Herons have here. Not over, Bertoame, pass in, and a sliding tackle by Voladar. That one goes into a corner, presented by Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. ForYourRights.com. Lytle Ryder Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath, proud supporters of Inter Miami football and every corner kick. Inter Miami subbing on Luis Suarez, a hometown favorite of my on-site producer and spotter, Oscar Gonzalez. And not just Oscar, as the stadium erupts for Suarez. Now keep in mind, Suarez subbed on last game. Inter Miami was down 2-1. Suarez scored the tying goal. Can he get the game-winning goal as the corner taken, deflected out by the Red Bull? But Inter Miami back on it. All right, folks, 2-2, 79th minute. Silvetti and Bertoame, the goal scorers for the Red Bull. Rabalcaba and Mehmeti, the goal scorers for the Red Bull. Inter Miami have it with Suarez. He gets it to the far side touchline and Segovia. Segovia cuts in. They'll retool at the midfield circle with DePaul. DePaul makes a run. Still running. Now he goes to ground, and we have a card. A booking in the 79th minute. It's going to go against a Red Bull player. But they clearly missed the ball on Rodrigo. And Rosendo Mendoza showing a booking and a citation in the 79th minute. Well, Luis Suarez got it to Segovia, and then Segovia retinkered a bit at that midfield circle with Bright. Bright found DePaul, and then DePaul got taken to ground by Mosquera, who received the card. Lionel Messi stands over a free kick. I always say it's too deep to go for goal, but Suarez sets up with it, and he shot it right at the keeper. Oh, that happened quick. Messi played a beautiful ball into Suarez, and Luis shot it right at Horvath. Oh, man. Oh, baby. An opportunity in the 80th minute. Welcome to the 80th minute, and we have a foul on our Herons. That's going to go against Gonzalo Luan, but the score is still 2-2. As Inter Miami try to find the goal to get them their first victory at New Stadium. Sofo and Mosquera have been good substitutions for head coach and gaffer Michael Bradley for New York. But once again, Lionel Messi had a great pass into Suarez off of a free kick, and Luis shot it right at Horvath. 81 minutes. Inter Miami going to have 9 minutes and whatever the allotted extra time to find a winner as Suarez goes to ground. That's a foul against Mehmeti. Keep in mind, Mehmeti, I was about to say has a booking, but I'm wrong there. Cole got the booking earlier in the game. 81 and a half minutes. Inter Miami needs a goal. Bertoame, near side touchline, not going to get there. Won by Voladar, and he immediately boots it out of bounds smartly, and Inter Miami will throw it in. DePaul tracks back. He gets it to Luan. Can Inter Miami find the game winner? DePaul looking for Bertoame again, and once again, Voladar gets it out of trouble. DePaul will throw it in. Here's Yannick Bright. Inter Miami recycles the Luan. 2-2 again. Same darn score as it was against Austin at this moment in time last weekend. Ravalcaba and Mehmeti, the goal scorers for New York. Silvetti and Bertoame for Inter Miami. As our Herons probe in New York territory with Messi. Messi looking for a through ball, an aerial through ball, but nobody home. I think he was looking for Luis on that. New York plays it out of their box with their goalkeeper. Near side touchline, Dos Santos. Dos Santos looking for Forsberg, but Falcone going to close that one down. And Inter Miami has it. Near side touchline, Luan. Booted away by New York. Here's Doncourt. Now back to the center backs. Volador and Nealis. Ruddy has it. Now Doncourt again. Doncourt very active in this game. Far side touchline. Sofo. Now to Doncourt in the box. Got to mark him. Pass laid up to Forsberg. Thwarted by Inter Miami. Back on it is Marshall Ruddy. Ruddy back to Sofo. Now Mascara. Ball centralized to Mehmeti. Mehmeti retreating back to midfield. Now he turns and he gets it back to that far side touchline. And Mascara. Doncourt goes to ground. 3 players on the ground. No whistle. In the box. Sofo. Sofo shot. And thankfully right. A whisker right. There are still 3 players on the ground. I thought Mendoza would stop play. Welcome to the 84th minute on your Inter Miami Radio Network. 2-2. Matteo Silvetti and Bertoame, the goal scorers for Inter Miami. The Red Bull have Ruvalcaba and Mehmeti as their goal scorers. But cramps are setting in on our Inter Miami Radio Network. Now 2 of the 3 are down, and now the physios to New York will come out onto the pitch, trying to figure out who's on the ground. Believe it's Mascara. As now I see that it's Doncourt. And Doncourt has been everywhere for New York tonight. Very active. Very active. Doncourt has been. That's Ronald Doncourt, the United Statesman, young 21-year-old. Very young group for the Rebel. Julian Hall, who's got 2 assists on the night. 18 years old, playing striker. Ravalcaba, 24 years old, from Mexico. Cade Cole, 22 years old. Adri Mehmeti, 17 years old. And not to mention Mascara, who's 20, and Sofo, who's 21. So the youth movement is real for the New York Red Bull and Coach Michael Bradley. But Inter Miami trying to find that goal that'll put them ahead. And folks, keep this in mind. That was about, 2.5, 3 minutes of dead time. So that's going to be added on to extra time. But in the 86th minute, Dane St. Clair is finally placed it short to Falcone. And Inter Miami will probe out of the defense as they try to get a goal, but a horrible turnover by Luan. Dos Santos on the run. And now has it on that near side touchline is Sofo. Sofo plays it in. Ball deflected by Luan, going to be a throw-in. But that was, a miserable turnover. I don't know who Gonzalo was looking for on that. But Red Bull had it in a dangerous spot. Now we have another substitution for the Red Bull. Coming onto the pitch for the Red Bull, Gustav Bergen coming on. And then Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting, by the way, former Bayern Munich player and Paris Saint-Germain player. Played big-time European football, was a starter for this club last year, pre-Michael Bradley. But Red Bull have embraced the youth movement, as I've mentioned, and Choupo-Moting, 37 years old. He comes off of the bench now. But Michael Bradley, he feels confident that with the substitutes I've been seeing Michael Bradley sub on, he feels confident that they could get a goal here at the end of the game. Going to need our Herons to lock in here It's the 87 and a half minutes, folks. We're 2.5 minutes away from extra time. As my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez, pointed out, about 3 minutes of downtime during that, when the physios came out for Don Cour. But Inter Miami has not had a lot of anything going forward for the last 5 minutes here. Messi has it. Gets it to Segovia. Far side touchline. Here's Bertoame. Now on it is Mikael, and they'll go back to St. Clair. With a 78th minute goal by Mehmeti and a beautiful ball in by Julian Hall. This is the reason we're deadlocked again, as Segovia was looking for Bertoame, shorted him on the pass, and now booted away by goalkeeper Horvath. On it is Sofo. All of a sudden, Red Bull with space. Sofo dispossessed and Inter Miami on it. Here's DePaul to Pinter. Pinter cutting in. Good run by Daniel. Luan tried to boot it forward. That one deflected out of bounds. 88-40. Almost a minute until we hear extra time, presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Here's Suarez now. Midfield. Luis looking for Messi. Pass off the mark. And with it is Horvath. Inter Miami slaps on a press. Messi pressing the defenders for New York, and he ends up with it. Leo in the box. Pass to Luis. Luis shot blocked. Shot again. Blocked again. And now he goes in the back of the net. What a crazy sequence. Is it offsides? Yeah, flags up. Folks, unbelievable sequence. Oh, my goodness. Suarez shot it right at the keeper. And then somebody rebounded it. That didn't go in. And then on the rebound, we had an offsides. I think they're going to look at it. So Suarez missed the initial shot. DePaul missed it. Bertoame had a scrum on it, and they're calling Messi offsides. And yes, offsides confirmed. So apparently Messi touched it before Bertoame put it in the back of the net, according to the OG on-site producer and spotter, Oscar Gonzalez. Wow. Oh, my gosh. That's what they're calling on the initial ball? Wow. Okay. So, folks, I'm at your mercy. Before all the craziness even started, Lionel Messi was in an offside position. And it was by a cat hair. It was by a cat hair. And David Beckham cannot believe it. Folks, neither can I. My United GOAT, David Beckham. 90 minutes, 6 minutes of extra time presented by your local South Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiUSA.com to learn more. AudiUSA.com, the proud premium and electric car sponsor for IMCF football. Pinter to ground, foul. So Inter Miami, in the 91 minutes, by the way, folks, after all that craziness, going to have 5 minutes to get a winner. Messi turns, beautiful turn. Messi still with it, plays on Luis, and Luis turns it over, and with the flag was up anyway, offsides on Luis Suarez. Messi pleading his case to head referee Rosendo Mendoza. He doesn't want to hear it. Oh, I got so excited. I thought that was the one. Oscar was laughing at me. I thought that was the one. Oh, I thought that was the goal for our Herons, but still 2-2. 91 and a half minutes. Silvetti and Bertoame, the goal scorers for Inter Miami. Rabo Kaba and the 17-year-old Mehmeti, the goal scorers, plural, for the Red Bull. Inter Miami desperately trying to get the ball back from New York. And near side touchline, Red Bull in trouble. Segovia closing it down with Bright, and now Messi's on it with space. Leo plays on Bertoame. Bertoame in the box. Gets it back to Messi, and it's a turnover, and now we have a free kick right outside of the box. Prime Lionel Messi territory. So Messi went to ground, clearly fouled. And Rosendo Mendoza blows his whistle. Now, we have a bunch of angry Red Bull players who didn't like the call. But, folks, Lionel Messi is going to get an opportunity from a free kick in the 92nd minute. Prime Messi territory. The foul goes against Dancourt, who couldn't believe it, as he's still giving an ear beating to Rosendo Mendoza. But, folks, Messi is about 2 yards outside of the penalty arc. About 2.5, 3 yards right outside of the penalty arc. (93-22, 23). 6 minutes of allotted extra time. Lionel Messi standing over a free kick. Prime Messi territory. Mendoza blows his whistle. Messi, shot, blocked! He went cross keep, left foot, and Horvath met him. And a corner kick presented by Lytle Rider, Smith, Ivy, and Frauenrath. ForYourRights.com. That is ForYourRights.com. Messi met at the spot on his free kick. 94 minutes. DePaul now will take over after he tells Segovia to beat it. DePaul cross in. Thwarted away by New York. Luan has it. Still in New York territory. Got to put a couple passes together here. Big switch, near side touchline. And that one headed out by Dancourt. Dancourt, like I said, headed it out. Inter Miami, that's not where you want to go. They go backwards to Luan. 94-35, 94-36, 2-2. Inter Miami trying to get that goal. 94-45, 46. It's going to be a throw-in for New York. Near side touchline right in front of us. Your Inter Miami Radio Network booth. Red Bull taking their time on the throw. Choupo-Moting has it. Sofo boots it. And they need Mikael to win this, and he does. Out of bounds. And actually, they're going to award it. They're going to award it to Red Bull. Unbelievable. The Herons thought it was their throw-in. They didn't go after it. 95-22, 95-23, 30 seconds from the 6 minutes of allotted time. Our Herons are running out of time. Whistle, blown, play dead again. Apparently they went too quick on the header. Red Bull will redo it. Dos Santos now throws it in. And boot it out again. We'll do the same song and dance again. New York wasting time. 95-49, 95-50. Interesting to see how far head referee Rosendo Mendoza lets this play. 96 minutes have been played. The allotted time has been played. Can Inter Miami get one last chance? The Red Bull on it again, near side touchline, and that is the game. That is the game. Another draw at New Stadium. 2-2, the final score. Matteo Silvetti, Herman Bertoame, the 2 goal scorers. Ravucaba and Mehmeti, the 2 goal scorers for New York. Inter Miami had an opportunity at the end of the game. It was a free kick for Lionel Messi, about 2.5 yards outside of the penalty arc of the box. He went across the keep of Horvath. He met him there, and that was truly the final opportunity. But 2-2, the final score. Folks, let's regroup. When we come back, we'll wrap up the broadcast, let you know what you got to know about the upcoming schedule on your Inter Miami Radio Network. But 2 games here at New Stadium and 2 draws. So 2 points for our Herons. 1 point tonight and a point last week. We'll wrap things up when we come back on our Inter Miami Radio Network.
Picture this: a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzillow.com and schedule your free consultation today.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Joseph Malloy, tax partner in Anshin's Construction Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, also known as the OBBBA, will have a significant impact on tax planning strategies. The bill restores and makes permanent 100% bonus depreciation for all eligible purchases made after January 19, 2025. This tax incentive will influence investments in additional machinery and equipment upgrades, providing an immediate tax deduction and helping contractors increase cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide construction companies through the new tax law to help them develop the right strategy and enhance profitability. If you're a construction executive or owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
The pink smoke is in the air. This is the Inter Miami postgame show. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Final score 2-2 here at New Stadium. Inter Miami drawing again. Good news is Inter Miami is on an 8-game unbeaten streak. The problem is that there are a lot of draws in that mix and not a lot of wins. But Inter Miami is certainly in great form. They're scoring goals. They're playing well. But they need to find a way to get that decisive goal in the final 10 minutes. It's the second straight time that our Herons took a 2-2 draw into 80 and beyond. Multiple opportunities as well for the second week in a row. Lionel Messi had a beautiful free kick pass to Luis Suarez. Luis sadly shot it right at the goalkeeper. And then Lionel Messi had an opportunity on a free kick about 2.5 yards right outside of that far side penalty arc of the box. He went cross keep, and Ethan Horvath, goalkeeper for New York, able to meet him at the spot. Now, Inter Miami picks up a point. They have 12 points on that table. They are still in third place in the Eastern Conference. The Chicago Fire have moved up to second place. They currently lead 1-0 at halftime against Atlanta. But if any of that changes, say Atlanta takes the lead or they draw, or rather, excuse me, I'm at your mercy, Chicago has a better goal differential. So even if Chicago draws, they will be in that second spot. But our Herons still in great position in that third spot in the Eastern Conference table. But this was the second straight draw and the second straight time Inter Miami has a 2-2 scoreline at New Stadium. The next time we'll be here at New Stadium is going to be in 2 weeks. It's going to be Saturday, April 25th. Inter Miami plays next Saturday, the 18th, and then the following week, which starts on the 20th, that Monday, Inter Miami will play 2 games. They'll play Wednesday in Salt Lake at 9:30 at night, and then following Saturday right here at New Stadium. So Inter Miami on the road next Saturday. I'll be talking to you guys from Colorado at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in the mountains. And then I will be back in South Florida that following Saturday, but I stay on the West Coast and go to Salt Lake and America First Field. So our Western Conference road trip begins coming up next Saturday, and I will talk to you guys coming up on the 18th when I'm in Colorado. But final score, Inter Miami 2-2, the second straight draw here at New Stadium for our Herons. Good news is they got points again. So 8 straight unbeaten games for our Inter Miami Herons. It's not easy to do, folks, in this league. And also 2 games that were played in CONCACAF Champions Cup. So six MLS games where they're not beaten, and then 2 CONCACAF Champion Cups games. But I know Coach Mascherano, I know Lionel Messi. They wanted all 3 points these last 2 games. But good news is Inter Miami still in a great spot as we will continue on our Inter Miami radio network coming up next Saturday. Bertoame and Silvetti, the 2 goal scorers for Miami. Ravalcaba and Mehmeti, the goal scorers for New York. Our final goodbye here on your Inter Miami radio network. This has been Inter Miami football. A lot of thank yous. Thank you to Santi Rodriguez and my OG on-site producer, Oscar Gonzalez. Both of them do a fantastic job of keeping up both of our broadcasts, Spanish and English, over the airwaves. Appreciate my guys, Oscar and Santi. Appreciate Kate Chumslin back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach and Damian Perez. And this has been your Inter Miami Radio Network.
Picture this, a curve in the road, a change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzolo.com and schedule your free consultation today.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
If you want to learn how to fan the football way, ask the fans with a Modelo. Only they know how to celebrate with strangers as if they were lifelong friends. To lose their voice for weeks after chanting for 90 minutes. They are always ready to teach you the ways of football, because to them, passion is meant to be shared. So go ahead, ask the fans with a Modelo.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Joseph Malloy, tax partner in Anshin's Construction Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, also known as the OBBBA, will have a significant impact on tax planning strategies. The bill restores and makes permanent 100% bonus depreciation for all eligible purchases made after January 19, 2025. This tax incentive will influence investments in additional machinery and equipment upgrades, providing an immediate tax deduction and helping contractors increase cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide construction companies through the new tax law to help them develop the right strategy and enhance profitability. If you're a construction executive or owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.